Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Chris Strub's Nonprofit Spotlight. Today is Monday, June 4th, 2018. I'm coming at you live today from Huntington Station, New York. So as the show goes on, it's very likely that you'll see me doing the show from other locations. That'll be part of the fun of it. Today we're here in my hometown of Long Island, of course, Huntington Station, New York. And if you're wondering, replay viewers, what you're getting into right now, stay tuned because we are about to invite in our guest. Her name is Cara Baribeau from the Community Foundation of Louisville. So Cara will be with us in just a moment. But this is a new show that I'm doing every Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going to try and keep it to 15 to 20 minutes so that we can keep the action-packed value right up front there for you guys. I want to say thank you to everybody who's joining, and we'll greet all of you guys in just a moment. But for now, let's bring in our guest, Cara Baribeau. Here she comes. And we're waiting for the Community Foundation of Louisville to join. She should be here in just a moment. I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching live. Simon Social Media is here. Natasha's here. Blake is here. Robin's here from Dallas. Bree Palmer up in Canada. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Melody Murphy's here. Another Louisvillian. Corey Adams is here. This is fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Blake, I appreciate you, buddy. My phone says we are waiting for CF Louisville. So Cara should be here in just a moment. As you see, I'm wearing my Give for Good Louisville t-shirt today. So I've got that on. I always rep my Binghamton Bearcats hat here. I got my Snapchat Spectacles 2.0. Of course, I've got my charger here, my Brian Fanzo tagged Think Like a Fan, my charger. Vicki O'Neill is here. So Vicki, we are just waiting just a moment here for the Community Foundation of Louisville to join. So my phone says we are waiting for CF Louisville. Now, if you've ever done a show before, you know sometimes that the technology can stumble just a bit. Again, we've got the notice, we've got the invite going on. We see Sarah B and WV is here. Producer Woods is here. I think that's Ross. What's up, Ross? And like I said, we are waiting for Cara to pop into the bottom half of the screen here in just a moment. This show will be live every Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Today's guest is going to be Cara Baribeau from the Community Foundation. Next Monday, we've got Sarah McDowell, formerly of Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central West Virginia. Today is her first official day of her new venture. So congratulations, Sarah. I can't wait to hear much more about that. So Sarah and I actually co-hosted the Big Brothers Big Sisters of America National Conference last summer in San Diego. The following Wednesday, and I'm seeing now that CF Louisville declined the invite. So maybe we get Cara to pop onto her personal account there and see if we can get that to work real quick. June 18th, what's up, Isaac Irvin? What's going on? June 18th, we're going to have Meridian Herman from the Salvation Army of Chicago. And then on June 25th, and I'm fielding a text message here real quick. It says that we're trying to get in. So I know that we are trying to get her in here. And anybody who's done a live stream knows that things can go wrong. You can also get the phone ringing in your house. So what's up, Not Your Average G.I. Joe? It's good to see you, my friend, Natasha. And I think we are connecting. And here we are. Hello, hello.
Am I here, Chris? Is it real?
There she is. Cara Baribeau from the Community Foundation of Louisville. Thank you so much for being here today. So we've got a great audience here. We're going to jump right into it. I know we said we wanted to do 15 minutes. I know you've got a lot going on, so we'll keep it quick. Cara Baribeau is the Vice President of Marketing Communications at the Community Foundation of Louisville, where she is building the Give for Good Louisville brand into a multi-million-dollar community movement. Cara, welcome to the show. I mentioned, of course, Give for Good Louisville. We can see the great branding right there behind you. Why don't you kick us off? Tell us, what is Give for Good Louisville?
So Give for Good Louisville, for those of you who aren't familiar with the movement that we're building here in Louisville, Kentucky, it's a 24-hour online giving day, but it's so much more than that. So the magic happens on September 13th. from midnight to 11:59 p.m., but we really build up for it in the months leading up to it. And we just recently kicked off our nonprofit registration just on Friday. We already have over 100 nonprofits registered to participate. We have registration going until July 13th, but we really anticipate we'll be over 500 nonprofits like we were last year.
That's terrific. And you mentioned that build up in advance of the day. And I think it's a little bit ironic. You got Chris Strub here launching a new show, and Give for Good Louisville is actually 100 days away, which is wild.
That's
we got
right.
100 days till I come back down to Louisville to join you. But I want you to tell me a little bit more about the Getting to Know the Good series. What is that series, and how are you using live streaming to build excitement for, as you mentioned, Give for Good Louisville on September 13th?
Well, I can't tell you about Getting to Know the Good until I tell you a little bit about the backstory. Chris knows this, but for other people who are watching, Getting to Know the Good was really inspired by my very first meeting with Chris when he came to Louisville, Kentucky. He was here in town. The word had that there was a social media guru who was in Louisville, Kentucky, who was helping nonprofits, and I thought, I need to talk to that guy. And so I held Chris hostage for a day, and he really encouraged me to just press the button, do it, just go out there, have the conversations with the nonprofits. And literally 2 weeks later, that is exactly what we started to do. We ordered one of these step and repeat banners, and we started inviting nonprofits into the Community Foundation of Louisville to talk about what their organization did, get a little bit of a glimpse of what some of these hundreds of nonprofits that are participating in the Giving Day, what it is that they do in community. And so that was in 2016 that we did that. And then last year we really upped our game and we took our show on the road. And we wanted to show people more, not just tell people about these great nonprofits and not just have them hear from somebody with one of the nonprofit organizations, but we really wanted to just kind of take a peek behind the curtain and travel the 8-county area where nonprofits were participating from and let people see some of the people that were being helped, some of the people who really dedicate their lives to the missions of their organizations. And so that's exactly what we've done.
Terrific. And of course, you can see Kara on these live streams on their Facebook page, the Community Foundation of Louisville. Kara, one of the big things that you and I talked about at the Midwest Digital Marketing Conference back in St. Louis a couple months ago was the idea, not so much of the camera presence, but of the comfort level of the people that are going to be on the live streams with you. So what would you say is the key to making the people that you interview feel comfortable on camera?
I think it's really important for people to feel like they don't have to be television personalities or polished people who are used to presenting in any sort of television way. This is really just a conversation that we have with people. So we really want them to just feel comfortable talking to us. You know, it's just a conversation with a friend, helping people see a little bit about what the organization does. And I think when people realize that they don't have to feel all polished and professional when they do it, it really kind of brings down the sort of nervous anticipation and lets people just share what it is that they do every day at their organization or how they're benefiting from the work of the organization.
Have some of the interviewees been surprised? Are they like looking for all the rest of the camera equipment and everything? I mean, I know you have a little bit of equipment that you guys have acquired, but does it take them by surprise that they can be live on the internet just at the touch of a button?
Well, I think they are usually surprised, like, oh, this is live. Like right now, this is live. Yes, it is live. And everybody's always impressed with Molly's little iPhone rig that we have, which is really simple. It's just here it is. You can see that.
Love it.
A microphone and a light, and the little iPhone just pops right in there. It's a really simple device, but it kind of helps us stabilize things a little bit more, shine light on, and the microphone's always a great addition. But, you know, we're a pretty compact, ready to go team, and we just hit the road.
I love it. And as you just mentioned in your previous answer, Kara, it's all about conversations. And I see Isaac and many others here in the comments joining the conversation. So I want to say thank you to everyone who's here watching live. If you have questions for me and Kara, feel free to leave them in the comments. We'll try to get to those before we wrap up here. I also wanted to take just a quick second. We'll take a quick time out to say that today's show is sponsored by my online course, Live Streaming for Nonprofits. It's a course that helps nonprofits, as we just talked about, become more comfortable with using live streaming. You can find that at academy.teamstrub.com. I'll be sure to put that in the show notes for you. And if you're interested in sponsoring the show, feel free to hit me up here on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. Kara, let's get back into it. Were you afraid to go live for the very first time?
I would be lying if I said that I wasn't. There's this sort of instantaneous nature of, what I say, there's no take backs, there's no let's do that again. It didn't come out the way that I wanted it to. But the more you do it, you just get really comfortable with it. And I think that makes other people comfortable too, not realizing that it has to all be perfect. And it's just the way things are. I think people are really getting used to this live streaming, and just to be natural, I think is fine.
I love it. Let's talk a little bit about Give for Good Louisville 2017. Last year, September 14th, of course, we remember that here in the States, it was a difficult year for local fundraising. There were a lot of events that happened throughout the summer last year. So I want you to think about that moment about, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, where you were live on Facebook and you announced that the city had raised more than $4.6 million. What did that feel like, and what was that emotion like throughout the day?
Well, the thing about Give for Good Louisville is that it's this build, and people think about, you were up for 24 hours. Well, really, it's a lot longer than that, because we're up from the morning before, and we just kind of go straight through for far more than 24 hours. So by the time we're getting into those evening hours, we're slap happy, we're just going on adrenaline, and we are just so energized by what's going on in the city, because it takes over social media. Every organization that we go to, that nonprofit rally in the middle of the day, it's so easy to be fed by what great things are happening in our community on that day, that we just kind of fly right through the evening. And every time we hit one of those milestones, we've hit 2 million, we've hit 3 million, we've hit 3.5, we're at 4 million, we've just surpassed last year's goal. All of that stuff just builds to the sort of the final moment of the evening, where we find out where we finish out the Give for Good Louisville for that year.
It's really outstanding to hear, and it's so special to be a part of. Now, most people that are watching this, there may be some people watching on the Community Foundation of Louisville page. So if you're a little confused on Instagram, again, my name is Chris Strub, and I'm excited to be here with Kara Barabo from the Community Foundation. But most people that are watching this probably have never been to Louisville, Kentucky. So I want you to kind of talk a little bit about what makes Louisville special, and what $4.6 million in 24 hours. And this year, of course, the goal is even higher. What does that say about the city of Louisville and the greater Kentuckiana community?
So Louisville, actually, as part of its branding, calls itself a compassionate city. And we always feel that Give for Good Louisville is just the most beautiful expression of what that means. That means that individual people who might only have $10 to give are just thinking in their heart, what is it that they're passionate about, and what are they going to support on that day, and how can they be part of this? And some people have $10,000 to donate, and that's great too. But the really beautiful thing is that it's these gifts that come together on that day, whether they're big or small. All of them come together, and there are hundreds of organizations that benefit from this generosity, because they're all conducting these little micro campaigns on that day. So people are hearing from the organizations, they're hearing about the good work that they're doing in community, and people are donating to the organizations that they're really passionate about. And one of the beautiful things about Give for Good Louisville is that the platform really allows people to discover other organizations that they might not have known about. Because you can go on to giveforgoodlouisville.org and search for organizations by nonprofit category type. You might be passionate about animals, and you might have been familiar with one organization, but then you learn, oh my goodness, look at this organization specializes in this type of dog, or this organization specializes in kittens, or this organization specializes in senior thoroughbred horses. The discovery process through Give for Good Louisville, I think, really adds a lot to it, because people are realizing, oh my goodness, there are all of these different organizations, all of the people who are working, dedicating their time to these organizations, and what that does for our community, I think, really says a lot about our compassion for our fellow citizens.
And this is, so 2018 is going to be the, correct me, fourth year of Give for Good Louisville? Fifth?
It's our
fifth year. See, I can't even keep track. So for another city, representatives from another organization or another city around the country, how might they get started with a giving day of their own? I know you guys work closely with GiveGab. So if someone from another city is watching, how might they be able to replicate some of the magic that you guys are sort of setting the bar for in Louisville?
Yeah, I think GiveGab is actually our platform provider, our technology provider for the Giving Day. Supports nonprofit giving days across the country. They do it for other community foundations, like we're a community foundation. Some do it through colleges or universities. They have their own giving days. So it's not just sort of community-wide. Sometimes it's sort of particular to a school or something more narrowly focused, maybe just focused on the arts or something else. And I think a conversation with GiveGab is actually a great first step, because they have the vantage point looking out over all these different types of nonprofit organizations and schools and different types of giving days, that they would be a great partner to tap into to figure out the best way to get one going in your own community.
Perfect. So we'll try and wrap it up here in the next couple minutes. I know you got a lot going on today. I know you're putting together an event and everything tonight. So thank you for taking the time today. I really appreciate it. Definitely wanted to have Kara as our first guest. You can tell that she's just fantastic and even more wonderful in person. Kara, what is your single biggest tip for a nonprofit that is considering using live streaming for the first time?
Well, I would start with just do it. You don't have to obsess about it being perfect. You don't have to obsess about do you have the right equipment? If you have an iPhone, you really have all the equipment that's necessary to get going. And I think working with you, Chris, and just sort of taking that first step is the most important part of it. Just start having those conversations. You don't have to take the show on the road. We've partnered with Switcher Studio this year, and we're sort of upping our game and getting a little bit more sophisticated with what we do. But every organization has somebody who has an iPhone, and they have a volunteer or a board member or a recipient of their services that can just engage in a conversation with you that you can go live with. And that's going to provide insight into what you do as an organization. And it's the most important way to get going, is to just push the button.
It's wonderful stuff. I'm going to throw one more question at you here while we got another minute. And it's actually from Sarah McDowell, who's going to be our guest next week. So make sure you come back Monday, June 11th, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on Instagram. Kara, how can live streaming help a small nonprofit, right? That the community foundation, again, you have a staff there. You've got Molly there to help you, with a lot of the live streaming and everything. But do you think if you were just maybe a 2 or 3 person show, that live streaming could be beneficial for you, that you maybe just set up my phone and talk? Is that all you have to do?
Absolutely. You could literally, Molly's not actually even holding the iPhone. She's behind the iPhone today, but we just have the iPhone set up on a little stand right now. And so it's all hands-free. I'm just talking to you into my iPhone. And, I almost think that this live streaming for small nonprofits is so important, because of the way that the algorithm feeds up live streams so much more than just regular posts, that it can really help a small organization kind of cut through some of the clutter on some of the social media channels by taking it live. So I feel like it really levels the playing field.
I love it. Kara, let's get you out on this one. You know where I'm going with it. If an organization is watching in Louisville or in the Kentuckiana area, of course, we want them to go sign up for Give for Good Louisville. How can they do that?
So everybody just needs to go to giveforgoodlouisville.org. The registration button is live now, so registration is simple. If you participated last year, it's even easier, so you can copy over your profile from last year. But everybody will have to enter in basic information that you should have at your fingertips. If you go to our FAQs, there's information to answer many of the questions that you might have, or feel free to use the chat button that you will see in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. If you have any questions along the way during the process, that's the quickest way to get a response to any questions that you have. And hey, Chris, I just want to throw out anybody who's watching this who might be interested. We have a training tomorrow, actually 2 sessions, one at 9 and one at 3, called Giving Day Basics. And it's for organizations who might be new to the Giving Day, or perhaps their organization has participated before, but the staff who's going to be working on it is new. We invite you to come to one of those training sessions. We're going to kind of take you through what Give for Good Louisville is, how it works, and how to get you set up and ready to go for this year's Giving Day.
Terrific. Cara Baribeau from the Community Foundation of Louisville. There is no one else in the world that I wanted to be my first guest on this show that hopefully will do 50,000 episodes. But it is always so lovely to see you. Thank you so much for all of your help and your support over the years. It was awesome presenting with you in St. Louis. And if you want to check out some of the videos that Cara and I did together last year from Give for Good Louisville 2017, you can go to their Facebook page at facebook.com/CF Louisville. I said 420, it's 421. Cara Baribeau, thank you so much. Of course, I'll text you, I'll give you a call. Look forward to chatting with you and seeing you again real soon. Thanks again to Molly behind the camera there in Louisville as well. And that's it for today's episode 1 of Nonprofit Spotlight with Cara Baribeau from the Community Foundation. We'll see you back here next Monday, June 11th, with Sarah McDowell, the media squirrel herself. Cara, again, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's watching. We'll let you go. I'm going to stay on live here and just add a few more thoughts, but we really appreciate you. And Cara, of course, I'll talk to you real soon.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Adios.
Bye.
So that's it. We're going to wrap up there. Unless you guys have any more questions for me, again, I want to say thank you to Cara Baribeau. She is really just a sensational human being. I hope you guys enjoyed the first show. I've actually got a ring light covering the viewers, so I don't even know if there were people watching or not. I know we see a lot of comments and stuff here. Natasha, Sarah, Isaac, Katie Miller, everybody who's watching, I really do appreciate it. If you guys have any questions for me about the show, if you have any other guest ideas or anything like that, please feel free to DM me, hit me up. If you're watching this on replay, hey, I really sincerely appreciate it. That is awesome of you. Again, if you want to check out my course, it's called Live Streaming for Nonprofits. It's academy.teamstrub.com, or if you just go to teamstrub.com, you can click right on the link there. You can also get a copy of my books, 50 States, 100 Days, the book, and Fight for Good Tour, the book. Yes, Cara is Cara amazing. Stacy, thank you for watching. Kaylin, other Cara was watching. Cara Lady was watching down from Atlanta. Reagan was here. Ross, Biz Paul, Bree Palmer, of course. Bree Palmer is my hero. Blake Croft, check the replay. All of you guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Until next time, I'll see you Monday, June 11th, 4 p.m. Eastern, right back here on Instagram. Keep in touch. Talk soon. Now I got to remove the ring light. That's what I really look like there. Take my little makeup off. There you go. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Talk soon.